Hello everyone, welcome to a delivery flight. This is going to be one of many I'm doing. You won't be able to see the aircraft at the moment, but this is the Toliss, or Toliss, I'm not sure how to say it, A319. This is a really nice looking aircraft. I have done a little quick flight with it before. Today I'm doing a delivery flight because this aircraft is used by Fly UK's Aurora franchise. So this is the Aurora livery. You might be able to see it in a minute when I turn some lights on and we go past some buildings, but unfortunately it's dark. Maybe I should have set the time to the day, but I'm doing it on realistic time, realistic tracking. So yes, we are departing from Toulouse, which is where these are built, and we are flying up to Iceland, which is where it can either be decided if this plane continues across over the Atlantic to work in the US, or it can just operate around Europe. But I am delivering it to Iceland. I've got a couple of things set up. What I do want to show you is just a few things before we get started, so some very nice little bits. So this is the interactive simulation control system. This I'm not really using much, to be honest. This is good though, so this is a nice loading system. It gives you the center of gravity. It will also give you a quick load and refuel and defuel and all that stuff, and it lets you pick your performance values. So I've already put mine in. That's a nice feature. It's something they had in the Aerosoft, which I really enjoyed using. We've also got here all of the controls for the external, as well as the doors and pushback. I'm not using the pushback obviously because I'm going to be using better pushback, which I think is very good. We've got a door open at the moment, but everyone's loaded, so we can close that. Forward cargo, we're going to close these as well. And we just want to set all of these to close. Perfect. And here you can inject faults. I'm not going to do that, of course. Good, they're off. This is add-ons, so you can add the IAE engine sound pack. Obviously here we've got all of the visual settings and all that kind of stuff. It looks really nice, I have to say, so I'm happy. And here's just a couple of extra settings and things like that. So what do we need to do? I'm just checking all of these. HPA, yes. Default transition altitude, we're flying in Europe most of the time, so we'll set that. Joystick roll for nose wheel steering. I think we will do that. That'll be a nice way of controlling it. So the aircraft is set up, we've got all our weight, all our fuel. I have got active sky here, which says the weather at the moment is 10:24. So I'm just going to dial this up to 10:24. Now, I haven't set up a lot of the things, so the flight plan is all ready. Performance is ready because we've used that lovely tool I showed you. So now what I need to do, get this switched onto nav. Yep. So they're all aligning. How long till alignment? 7 minutes. Greater than 7 minutes. Okay. In the meantime, we should have the nav lights on already, but I don't. We will put on seatbelt signs and smoking signs. We'll arm the emergency lights. We'll set these back to dim. We need to get ourselves ready. Master switch. Let's put the APU on. Nav barometer ref cross check. Yes, you are completely right. There we go. So that's now ready. Let's start the APU. Now I obviously have to turn my sound down, but you might be able to hear this. Hopefully it sounds pretty good. Now though, just going to keep an eye on this. You'll also notice that I'm using Fly Live for the first time. I'm not sure how this is going to go. Maybe it's terrible and I never use it again, but we'll see. So we're just waiting for the APU to come on. There we go. So that should now be saying available. No, it's not saying available. There we go. So I'm going to turn the external power off. Open the panel again and disconnect the ground power. There we go. Right, I'm not going to make you wait for this. That would be rather pointless. But what I will quickly show you is this lovely little thing. So if I go back to home, in charts, there's a readme. No, that hasn't worked. Okay. Routes. Departure airport. Let's check if this works. BIKF. Go. There we go. Got our route in here. Cool. Very nice. Maps. Yep. So we can see that we are in Toulouse, exactly as we expected to be. Toulouse, for anyone who doesn't know, South France. So our route is going to take us up here. It's the over through sort of West England, and then off on a tangent after we leave Scotland. Go back. What else have we got? We've got some aircraft manuals if we want them. That's just a list of my games there. Some notes, which I haven't got any. Got Navigraph connected, which is why if I go into here, there we go. So I can pick some charts. So for example, if we wanted to see where we were, there we go. So that's us. That will help us with taxiing a little bit. How are we doing now? 6 minutes. Right. I will jump back in 6 minutes once there is finally some IRS aligned. See you in a second. So the ILS should be aligned any second now. I've just been going through, so I've set the altitude, the heading for the runway, and the speed. The speed is our N2, our V2 plus 10 degrees. So that should get us on the right track. I think I'm going to have to pull it or something as we get, once I get the engines fired up. Not quite sure yet. Everything else, I've got the chart ready for the departure. Chart is ready for taxiing as well, as you can see. Switch the lights off a little bit. Turn the wing lights on. Haven't put the beacons on yet, or taxi lights or anything like that. And I've got the fuel pumps on. That is basically everything we need for now. Yes, I have adjusted the cockpit temperatures as well to get it. It's now around 18 degrees. That should be fine. Let's just set that back to status. Yep. Trim we need to set after, as well as the flaps, and obviously we have to get the engine on. But yeah, just waiting for this to finish. I thought it was going to be finished any second. It seems to be taking a little bit longer than I hoped. Temperature's good though, 10 degrees. So we're not worried about icing conditions. We don't need to be worried about those. And if I check, clouds, few at 3,500 feet, broken at 5,800, broken at 7,400. So it's only going to be the first 7,500 feet that we're going to be experiencing any kind of cloud cover. So I don't think we need to worry too much. In terms of this actual plane, the graphics in here are absolutely stunning. If I put the lights back on, and really beautifully modelled. Absolutely amazing. If we go to the wing view, you can see the cockpit. The cabin. I mean, even this is really nicely done. And nice details over there. Sorry for the drastic spinning. Nice detailing up here as well. There's an exit sign somewhere around here. Maybe I should have zoomed out for that. Yeah, there it is. It's really, really nice. Right, IR is still not aligned. Oh my goodness. Well, what we'll do is plan our pushback. So, we are here. We might actually be able to go straight forward, but let's see what better pushback suggests. If I pre-plan, where are we now? You know what? We are actually in... We're actually in the right place, aren't we? My pushback would just be going straight forward. I'm not going backwards. So yeah, no need for pushing back. Cancel plan. How's the IR? Still not done. Right. I'll be back in a second then, when this is finally aligned. Right, so we're all set up and ready to go. I realised that actually I did something a little bit stupid. And in the FMC, so I just resetting the heading. In the FMC, of course, in the initialization page, there's an IRS in it that comes up there. And, you know, I just completely forgot to actually do anything about that. So, completely my fault. Right, anyway. We are now ready to go. So, the APU is on. Everything is set up. Next thing to do, look at that moon. That is beautiful. Wow. What an animation. I love that. Now, I'll be honest, this is actually an airport that I'm very, very familiar with. However, I've never been to this area of the airport. I've been on the opposite side of the airport many times. Anyway. What we need to do, of course, TCAS should be above, should be on, and TARA, there we go. That's sorted. Next thing to do, ignition start. So, start the left engine first. Engine 1 coming on. Oh. It's interesting. Very interesting. Oh, they are coming on. Just very, very slow. They're slower than I'm used to, actually. So that's the engines finished. I will leave it on ignition start. I think it's good for when we take off. APU as well, I will leave on in case we need it. Beacon should have been on already. It is now. Right, I'll be back in 2 seconds. Okay, so we are all set now. Let's do a flight control check. So, full left. Yes. Full right. Yes. Full up. Yes. And full down. Yes. Full yaw. Full yaw. Okay. Interesting. Seems to not be working completely. Let's have a quick check of the pressures. That's the pressure of the aircraft, not interested in that. Bleeds. There we go. So looks like we're getting the correct amount of bleed coming off. Hydraulics, all good. Okay. Right. Well, there's only one thing for it then, I believe, and that is for us to floor it. Just need to move my mouse a second. Sorry. Yeah. So, parking brakes off. Oh. Taxi lights on. That would be useful, I think. And I'm actually going to do this from outside, I think. Yeah, I think this would be easier, wouldn't it? And we'll make our way to the runway. I'm not actually sure which runway we should be going to, so slow everything down. Interesting. There's a message that's just popped up that I don't actually know how to fix, so let me just double check a second. Okay, so apparently if I press one of the purser call buttons, like that, there we go, cabin ready, great, that's what I needed. I'm going to put that on. Spoilers need to be set to takeoff, flaps to 1. There we go. Takeoff config complete. Now if we have a look here, so for runway 32 left we should head out of here, round there onto taxiway 11, onto, what is this? Individuals, okay. Onto Papa 10, November 2, cross runway 32 right, down Mike 2, and then we'll be on 32 left. Okay, quite a long taxi route even. So I'll probably just speed it up in the video, and I won't bother talking to you now. But what I do need to do quickly is set 0.1 down. There we go. Right. I will do this taxi and I'll see you at the runway. I think that's going to be a bit easy. Okay, so we're here at 32 left. I absolutely love X-Plane at night. It is just so good. I can't even explain. For me, flying with FSX for many years, it's just absolutely incredible to use, to have X-Plane and P3D and have such good graphics effects. Absolutely incredible. But we're going to put the brakes on here, quite literally. parking brakes on. Now what I want to do, because I didn't enjoy that taxiing, so where was the settings? Joystick, roll, no. There we go. So I'm just going to take the parking brake off. There we go. Honestly, that feels much better. Right, so we're ready to go. So let's go. Let's let it spool up a little bit. There we go, that's V1, V2 and VR. And we're up. That was a very, very quick takeoff. So if I quickly autopilot 1 on. That speed back down. I need to get flaps up and the landing gear as well. And I should now pull the lever down. There we go. So we're now on our runway heading. Look at that. That is one hell of a view. My kittens seem to be enjoying it as well. So if we have a quick look outside here as well. Beautiful. Now, this is an incredibly steep climb. Really, really steep. Put the speeds and the altitudes and everything on now. So we're now completely managed. We have passed Q and H value. So I'm going to standardize all of these. There we go. Ground spoilers. Let's get those back in. Ignition off. We can also do something else, which I've forgotten what. Runway turn lights can come off, taxi lights off, APU can come off. And it looks like it's going to be a nice, quiet flight out of here. Unfortunately, you haven't been able to see the wonderful livery, so what I'll do is I'll take a screenshot in the light, I think. That'll be the best thing to do. Still got the landing lights out at the moment, because we haven't yet passed 10,000, but we are about to. There we go. And you might have noticed that we just have a little message as well. There we go. APU is still saying available. I'm guessing that's a bug, because it definitely isn't available. I've turned it off. Or at least I thought I had. Flap is still open apparently. Let's do that. I wonder if that's a bug. It seems strange. We've got one hell of a headwind. 55, 56 knots. Which is quite possibly why the plane is shaking around so much. We are also very light today. because this is a delivery flight, so we're not using much. Not using much of the capacity of this plane. However, we are taking 12,000 kilograms of fuel with us. So the APU is now turning itself off. That's good. It's still quite warm out here, I have to say. I am going to get this dialed up. And I'm also going to, if I can, I'm going to get this set up. So, multi-scope, manual, off, setting 1. Right, let's try and get, what's our climb rate? Around 4 degrees. Oh, is this maybe not working? Possibly not working. Because I don't see a message. Or could it be the range? Because the range is too high. Let's dial it down to 80. Let's see if that makes a difference. No, so it appears this is not working. Well, that's okay, because I do have Active Sky, which I have running at the moment. It will obviously tell me if I'm coming into any severe weather. At the moment, it looks like we're completely clear all the way through France, at least. And if I put the terrain on, is that working? Yes, it is. But let's be a bit more zoomed in. So we're not seeing that, are we? No. Oh, weather is just updated. Looks like it could be some bad weather. Around about 35,000 feet. Just after our top of climb, which we can see here. So, we'll have to see. Maybe it will all be okay. I'm not sure. What I'm going to do though, I'm going to get those seatbelt signs turned off. There you go. Get people served and all that kind of stuff. There is nothing else that needs to be done in the cockpit. It's just a case now of climbing up to our cruise altitude and then cruising along to Iceland. So if anything interesting happens during the flight, I will come back to you. Otherwise, now I will just transition straight into a descent. So, see you in a minute. Welcome back. We are now less than 10 nautical miles from descent point and less than 100 nautical miles from the airport. 83 to be exact. I am going to quickly check where we should be descending to. Looks like sorry about that. It looks like 3,000 would be a good bet. So let's get it down to 3,000 and start descent. So we are descending early, not much earlier though. So we zoom back out, there we go. So we can see most of our route here. We have got a constraint of 15,000 here, a constraint of 13,000 here. I'm not sure what that one before KF82 is. Oh, it's our limit. Interesting. Well, anyway, what I need to do is get set up with the weather. So if I check expected wind 100 at 6. Okay, so let's do this. This would make more sense. There we go. Expected wind 100 at 6 knots. Yep. Transition level, I'll double check that. I think it is 5,000. Altimeter 979. Temperature 0. So we are going to need some anti-ice on the way down. There's scattered clouds at 11,000 feet, few clouds at 1,700 feet. But apart from that, everything is looking good. I see some weather on our way, but nothing that looks serious. So, if we go over here, you can see we are just to the south. That's Reykjavik. Keflavik is around here, I think, if I remember right. But what we need to do is go into the charts. No, not the charts. How did I do this before? That one. There we go. So, approach. We have got set. No, wrong airport. Would help if we had the right airport, wouldn't it? So, there we go. We're going runway 10, yes, that's the one. Based on that lovely weather we had. Approach. Which one did we choose? We chose ILS 10Y. So, ILS Y. Cat 2 ILS Z. ILS Y. This is a Cat 3 aircraft, so I think we can do this. That should be Y. Should be fine even. Go. No, you know what? Let's go with the Cat 2. Let's see what happens. So, on here, transition altitude 7,000. And decision altitude Cat 2, decision altitude 209 feet, height 100. So let's go with that. Perfect. So that's everything plugged in. Back to the flight plan. What we need to do now then, as we just saw, is change this. So this should actually be how do I click that? Interesting. Oh, this guy's a bit zoomed in as well, isn't he? Knock him down to 20. He can keep an eye on the sections which are closer. How are we doing with our altitude? Because we've got a constraint of 15,000 here. We're doing okay. It's not bad. Right, no, oops. Let's go back to normal descent mode. How? I know in a lot of the other aircraft there is a click spot, and it seems there is one in here as well. Perfect. So now we will descend to 1,800 feet. Right. Our approach is going to be, if I remember correctly, I thought it began with a B. It's Basler. 3M is what we chose. So I guess there's one in here for Baslu. There we go, 3M. You can see we are on it. Nice. And it's looking good at the moment. Everything's on track. Perfect. What's the temperature outside at the moment? It's getting a bit cloudy. We're going to be going through the clouds soon, so I think now would be a good time for us to put on some anti-ice. Put the wing, engine and the probe on. Temperature in the cockpit is 18. It's 0 outside, so we could do with making people a little bit colder so they can sort of acclimatise. Yes. So I'll just drop the cabin temperature down a little bit. If we go to the conditioning section, yeah, 15 and 16, so it should start dropping people down. It'll get a bit colder. So, we've just passed our 15,000 constraint. We were above 15,000 as required. The next one is 13,000, but we've got a limit first. And then after that, we've got our deceleration point and then a 6,000 or below. That doesn't seem good. That doesn't seem like a good way of doing it at all. We might possibly have to do this a little bit cleverly. Yes, I think what we're going to have to do is get ourselves down below 6,000 quite quickly. What I'll do is I'll use the speed brakes to help us get down, and then we should be below 6,000 and we can hit the descent. That will solve everything, I think, because otherwise I can see us struggling here. We are supposed to be descending at the moment, so let's just put half speed brake. Now I believe, yeah, you can't see anything still. You can see the speed brakes have extended though. There we go. Like I said, at the end of this, I'll flip the time to daylight so that you can see what this lovely livery, I still don't know how to say it, what it actually is, what it looks like. 25 nautical miles to the next point. So we're getting a speed brake warning here, but I know the speed brake's out, that's absolutely fine, that's what I wanted. And now, nope, 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 that one. There we go. Get our vertical speed down, and we keep the speed brake out. That way we can try and maintain a 250 speed while we're dropping altitude. We don't want to be too low, but we just be good if we can get to 6,000 before that descent point. And in terms of where we are, there's the edge of the island. Awesome. So we're now very close. I can see we're looking good for weather still. We're also below 10,000 feet. So, put those on. Put the seatbelt signs on now as well. And I think I will just increase that a bit. Start decreasing the range down a bit more as well. So you can see 10 nautical miles to the descent point. Deceleration point. I keep calling it descent point. It's deceleration point. So yeah, 10 nautical miles to there, just less. 15 to the 6,000 waypoint. So now we're looking good. Once we're down at 6,500, I will put it back into descent mode. Oh yes, we must standardize. Is it 979? So actually, let's put that back. I believe it was 979. That's the right reason. Yes, 979. And we'll put the speed brake back in. There we go. So we can now start decelerating whenever they want us to, and we're also at a good altitude for the rest of this journey, which is not long at all. 13 nautical miles, it says here. So this has been a really long flight. I lost frames at some point, and also, oh, excuse me, let me just fix that. Yeah, I lost frames at one point, and that meant that the plane slowed down because the simulator couldn't keep up with real time. Obviously that's a big pain in the bottom, backside, bum, whatever you would like to call it. But yes, it's a massive pain. So that did make the flight a bit longer than I wanted to, really. Now, can we see anything? Nope, still nothing. And over here, yeah, we're almost there now. Okay. We see ourselves just coming in to this. If I go back to the home page and back to the map, we are land ahoy on the starboard side. Right, deceleration point has been hit, but we are not doing a particularly good job of slowing down, so again we're going to use the speed brakes, making full use of these speed brakes this time. We're getting a message saying ice not detected, which means we've got icing systems running and the plane doesn't think we need any. So I could turn it off, but I'd rather leave it on just to be safe. We are approaching green dot speed. You can see it just below 180. At that point, I will extend the first set of flaps. And we'll take the speed brakes back in now and arm them. So, green dot, there we go. That's the first set of flaps. You see them here just extending out. Well, it's actually slats only for number 1. So S speed. There we go. I'm going to put the landing system on and the localizer. Interesting, the localizer doesn't seem to work. Now, why is that? Just going to pause for a second to make sure there's not something terribly wrong here. Oh, I've paused, that's why I can't do that. ILS, we've got an ILS frequency. Is that right? Let me just double check. I'll do it outside of the sim very quickly. Okay, apparently we should actually be using ILS-Z. So, let me unpause, quickly change this. ILS-10Z, insert, clear that off, or temporary insert even. Nope, okay. Oh look, there we go, there's the runway. See it up ahead. Let's get another set of flaps and landing gear down. Cabin, we'll get that checked. And flaps to full. If I 109.5. I just paused this again. Sorry, this is not being done very well, to be honest. There we go. So I choose that instead. That is also 109.5. So we've got the wrong ILS frequency. There we go. So now we can capture the localizer. Brilliant. And can't really see anything out of the windows, but we can see the runways dead ahead. Look at that. This is why I love X-Plane. I know I said it before, but seriously, it's just so good. So we are coming in now. Should make our turn, capture the localizer. Localizer captured. I'm not going to fly this one manually because of course this is our test landing. So we're testing the aircraft. We want to make sure that everything's working fine. We haven't yet caught the glide slope, but I think we'll be catching the glide slope at Maddox. Yes. Can see that we will exactly. I can also see, yep, it's okay. So everything's set up. Look at that, what a beautiful sight. I'm going to go outside quickly so that I can take a screenshot of that. And Maddox is almost here, which means glide slope is almost captured. Excuse me. Glide slope captured. Perfect. And there we go on final descent. So let's just turn these off. We'll have a last minute check of everything. So wheels are down, all looking good. Outside air temperature, yes. Engines, fine. Bleed, good. Pressure, yes. The hydraulics are good. Fuel we know is fine. Of course we haven't transferred anything. It's a strange setup. Conditioning 16. Okay. We've got increased fuel consumption. I don't know when that message came from. But there we go. So about 1,000 feet above the runway. Still can't see anything, but I guess that would make sense because there's not really much to see. Got enough time to show you, I think. If we look here, you can see we're only just on the land, so there wasn't much to see out there anyway. Now, there is an issue I have. Which is that I've just realised I turned the sound down earlier and I didn't turn it back up, did I? Perfect. Now you're going to get probably an echo of my sound, but it's because I need to be able to hear when I'm told to retard. There we go, look at that. A beautiful sight. Absolutely stunning. So we're going to kick back and flare. Full thrust reverse. Knots. I can turn my sound back down again. There we go. And I will just disengage the autopilot and the approach. And there should be a taxiway at the end of here. That is what I'm hoping for. So, off the runway, landing lights off, strobe lights off, runway turn on lights on, taxi lights on, we'll put the APU on as well. And we can turn off all of the icing. Also disarm that. Pull the flaps all the way up. Very good. Now, where should we go? Where do we think? Not the map site, not the airport. Now, what I'm going to do is just stop for a moment while we have a look at our taxi. Parking stands. Let's go. Forget to airport view. So there's the terminal apron. Okay. Let's go to stand 11. No, in fact stand 7. Go to stand 7. So just there on that corner. So we're going to take N4 and then turn up. Okay. There we go. That is us settled. Too far. Too far which way? Let's have a look. Okay, a bit too far to the left. But I don't think it's too bad. I don't think it's too bad. Now, can we interact? Oh. Make sure there's no fuel flow and the beacon light is turned off. Okay, we can do that because we have landed. So, how are the brakes looking? 110 degrees. It's a bit warm, but it's very cold outside, so they're going to be okay on their own, I think. So, wing lights turn off. Taxi lights should have been off when I pulled in anyway, so should the runway turn off lights. Let's keep ourselves in darkness so we can adjust ourselves a little bit. What do we need to do? We need to put the bleed on. Already on. Done. So, engine 1, engine 2, get both of those off. There we go. And then we'll switch the beacon light off. And hopefully this should now connect up. That would be awesome if it does. However, it doesn't seem to be. Make sure there's no fuel flow and the beacon lights are turned off. Okay, have we still got some fuel flow? No. And let's turn the pumps off. I guess I should also call for the ground services, get some external power. We can open the cargo bays. Yeah, I should be able to see those down here. They are opening, perfect. Ground power, is that shown? No, not modelled. It's a shame, but still. So we should have external power available. So we can turn the APU bleed off and the APU off. And if we go to the electrics now, we are now running on external power, yes. Oh, I'm disappointed. This is still not working, is it? Maybe it's my plane. But I said I was going to switch to the daylight, and actually, you can see this now. But I will switch anyway. So if I just go to my settings, let's just change to the middle of the day. There we go. And so this is the lovely airport. Tower is a long way away, actually, isn't it? A lot further than I thought it would be. You can see a couple of wow though. Iceland Air. Oh, it's really well modelled. There's that UPS. So we should be behind here somewhere. Well, thank you very much. I really hope that you have enjoyed seeing this lovely plane on its delivery flight. I will, of course, do another couple of these with all of the delivery flights I've got to do. And please feel free to leave any comments. I really would love to hear any feedback you have. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. And I will see you again soon. Bye bye.